Welcome back to Do It All. I'm Gabriel, and I'm here to help you unlock your potential and be everything your heart desires. What if I told you that one small act of kindness, something you do without thinking twice, could completely change someone's day or even their life? In this episode, we're diving deep into the power of everyday kindness. But here's the catch. We're not talking about kindness that's planned or expected. We're talking about being kind just because you can. And believe me, the ripple effect of this spontaneous kindness is more powerful than you think. Get ready to explore how simple, everyday actions can not only brighten someone else's world, but also improve your own life in unexpected ways. Today, we're going to break down the hidden science and impact behind spontaneous acts of kindness, showing you why these little moments matter so much. First, we'll explore real-life stories of kindness and how they've rippled outward to inspire others. Then, we'll dive into the psychological and physiological benefits of kindness for both the giver and the receiver. Finally, we'll wrap up with actionable steps that you can implement today to make kindness a part of your daily life. No planning required. Stick around, because by the end, I'll share a few key takeaways that you can use to build more kindness into your everyday routine, without any extra effort. Before we dive in, if you're enjoying this episode so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on future content. Your support helps keep the channel growing so we can continue spreading positivity. The concept of spontaneous kindness is simple. Doing something kind without any prompting or expectation of reward. But the beauty lies in how far-reaching the effects can be. When you perform an act of kindness, no matter how small, you're creating a ripple that extends far beyond the moment. Imagine this. You're at a coffee shop, and you decide to pay for the person behind you in line. It's a small gesture, but that person may then feel inspired to do something kind for someone else. Whether it's smiling at a stranger or calling an old friend just to check in. One act leads to another, creating a chain reaction of positivity. Research shows that witnessing acts of kindness can increase the likelihood that observers will act kindly as well. This is known as moral elevation, a term coined by psychologists to describe the warm, uplifting feeling people get when they see someone else doing good. In fact, studies have found that simply seeing kindness in action can boost oxytocin levels in the brain, enhancing our feelings of trust, empathy, and compassion toward others. This means that your small, spontaneous act could set off a positive emotional reaction in countless people beyond the original recipient. Why does spontaneous kindness carry so much weight? The answer lies in its unpredictability. When kindness is expected or part of a routine, while still valuable, it doesn't have the same impact as something completely unanticipated. Our brains are wired to react more strongly to surprise, both good and bad. When someone does something unexpectedly kind for us, it lights up the reward center in our brain. This release of dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good chemicals, creates a sense of happiness and well-being. On the flip side, the giver of the kindness also experiences a rush of these positive emotions, which has been linked to lower stress levels and even increased lifespan. A groundbreaking study by Dr. 𝗁𝗂𝗓𝗏 at the University of California found that people who performed 5 acts of kindness in a week showed a significant increase in overall happiness. Interestingly, those who performed their acts all in one day felt a greater emotional boost than those who spread them out. This tells us that spontaneous, concentrated acts of kindness can have an immediate and profound effect, both on ourselves and the world around us. Let me share a few real-life examples of how everyday acts of kindness have changed lives in ways no one could have predicted. In 2013, a man in New York paid for a stranger's groceries when her card was declined. She was a single mother, struggling to make ends meet, and this one gesture not only helped her in that moment, but inspired her to create a community program that now provides food assistance to hundreds of families in her neighborhood. That single act of kindness sparked a movement. Another powerful story comes from a group of high school students who started a Pay It Forward campaign. One student decided to pay for a classmate's lunch, which led to others doing the same for weeks. The school saw a noticeable shift in the overall atmosphere. Students were kinder, more supportive, and bullying incidents dropped by 30%. All of this began with one spontaneous act of kindness that inspired others to follow suit. In 2015, a woman in California wrote heartfelt letters to local homeless individuals, expressing appreciation for their existence and encouraging them to seek help. One recipient, deeply moved, decided to change his life. He went to a shelter, got support, and eventually secured a job and stable housing. The woman's simple act of kindness not only changed one life, but also created a ripple effect in the community, prompting others to reach out to the homeless in meaningful ways. Finally, there's the story of a teacher who noticed a student struggling with personal issues. Instead of simply addressing the academic problems, she took the time to write a personal note, letting the student know she believed in him. This simple message of support motivated the student to open up about his struggles and seek help. The impact was profound. He graduated with honors and now mentors other students facing similar challenges, showing how one act of kindness can have a lasting effect. Now, let's dive into the science of kindness and why it affects us so deeply, both physically and emotionally. Kindness triggers the release of oxytocin, often referred to as the love hormone. Oxytocin not only makes us feel connected to others, but also has physical health benefits. It reduces blood pressure, decreases levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and strengthens our immune system. Essentially, kindness is good for your heart. Literally. One fascinating study published in the Journal of Social Psychology found that performing a kindness act boosts serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for mood regulation. What's more, the effects of this serotonin boost last much longer than you might expect. While we're used to the quick bursts of dopamine from instant rewards, like a social media notification, the effects of serotonin are longer lasting, contributing to a sustained sense of well-being. The study also noted that kindness benefits are cumulative. The more often you practice spontaneous kindness, the more your overall mood improves over time. But the impact of kindness goes even deeper. A study conducted by researchers at Harvard University found that engaging in acts of kindness not only boosts your mood, but can also lead to a significant reduction in anxiety and depression. In this study, participants who committed to doing acts of kindness reported feeling more fulfilled and less lonely. This correlation suggests that kindness may be an antidote to social isolation, reinforcing our connection with others and enhancing our overall mental health. Another enlightening piece of research conducted at the University of California found that when people engage in acts of kindness, they experience increased levels of gratitude. This gratitude further contributes to our happiness, creating a positive feedback loop. In essence, when we act kindly towards others, we're not only impacting their lives, but also enriching our own emotional landscape. It's a beautiful cycle. Kindness fosters gratitude, which then fuels more kindness. Finally, let's reflect on the broader implications of these findings. In her book, 𝗸𝗶𝘱𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃, psychologist 𝗁𝗲 emphasizes that practicing kindness isn't just an individual act, it's a communal one. The ripple effect of kindness creates a sense of community and belonging, reinforcing the notion that we are all interconnected. As we engage in spontaneous acts of kindness, we build a more compassionate society, one small act at a time. This deepens our introspection on kindness and its role, not just in our personal lives, but also in the world around us. Kindness isn't just a modern social virtue. It's something that has evolved with humanity. Evolutionary psychologists suggest that altruism and kindness have played a crucial role in the survival of the human species. Cooperative behavior, especially spontaneous acts of kindness, fostered trust and reciprocity within early human communities, enabling them to thrive. Being kind to others ensured that the group would support you in return, creating a mutually beneficial survival strategy. Moreover, as our ancestors faced challenges such as food scarcity and environmental hazards, those who engaged in kind behaviors were more likely to build supportive networks. This support system not only enhanced their chances of survival, but also created a culture where kindness became a normative expectation, further embedding it into our societal fabric. Kindness nurtured bonds that went beyond mere survival. It cultivated a sense of belonging, shared purpose, and mutual aid essential for communal living. In his book, The Moral Animal, Robert Wright explains how altruism evolved as a survival mechanism, hardwired into our brains. Studies of hunter-gatherer societies show that those who were more generous and kind tended to have stronger social networks and, as a result, were more likely to survive and pass on their genes. This shows that kindness isn't just good for the soul, it's good for survival. Additionally, the psychological responses associated with acts of kindness further illustrate their evolutionary significance. When we engage in kind acts, our bodies release endorphins and oxytocin, promoting feelings of happiness and bonding. This biological reward reinforces the behavior, making it more likely for individuals to act kindly again in the future. The evolutionary development of these social and emotional responses highlights how kindness is not merely a choice, but a vital aspect of human connectivity, deeply embedded in our DNA as a mechanism for thriving in a complex social world. So what can we take away from this? First, spontaneous kindness has a profound impact. Whether we're the giver, receiver, or even just a bystander, it creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond what we can see. The science tells us that both our bodies and our minds benefit from practicing kindness. Increased serotonin, lower cortisol levels, and better heart health are just some of the perks. But perhaps the most important takeaway is that kindness doesn't have to be grand or planned. Small everyday actions, a compliment, holding the door open, or a simple smile can make a bigger difference than we realize. Let's look at how you can bring more spontaneous kindness into your daily life. 1. Start with intentional awareness. Before kindness can become spontaneous, we need to train ourselves to notice opportunities for it. Pay attention to the small moments throughout your day where you can offer a hand, a smile, or a kind word. This simple shift in awareness opens the door to many small acts of kindness. 2. Keep kindness simple. You don't need to go out of your way or perform grand gestures. Sometimes the most powerful acts of kindness are the smallest. Complimenting a coworker, offering to grab a coffee for a friend, or sending a quick text to check on someone are all simple yet effective ways to spread kindness. 3. Practice kindness regularly. The more you practice, the easier and more natural it becomes. Set a goal to perform at least one act of kindness each day, whether it's holding the door open for someone or simply listening to a friend vent. These acts will quickly become part of your routine. 4. Don't expect anything in return. True kindness is given freely, with no strings attached. When you perform an act of kindness, do it for the sake of making someone's day better, not for the recognition or a favor in return. This mindset shift will make your acts of kindness more genuine. 5. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on your actions, no matter how small, may have positively impacted others. This reflection helps reinforce the habit and gives you a sense of accomplishment, no matter how subtle the act. If you're enjoying this content, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And hit the bell icon to get notified when we post our next video. Remember, kindness isn't about just doing big things. It's about doing small things with great love. The ripple effect of even the smallest acts of kindness can spread farther than you think. And the best part? It doesn't just benefit others, it benefits you too. Thank you for watching today's episode. Now, go out there and make someone's day a little brighter with no expectations, just because. Next up, we're diving into the core values of being trustworthy and honorable. Integrity. Discover how staying true to your values not only shapes your character, but also influences those around you. You won't want to miss it. Remember, it's the small everyday actions that create the biggest waves of change. You have the power to brighten someone's world, starting today. Let's go out there and make it happen. Let's go do it all.